Li Auto Inc. is a new automotive company that's taking the EV space by storm. The company's first release proved to combine quality, reliability, and practicality at an attractive price, and the newest model is only making greater strides in quality and value. The Li SUV has got to a point where other models simply cannot keep up, and in this video, we'll tell you everything you need to know about Li Auto Inc. and why we might just be seeing these vehicles taking over the roads very soon. So, without further ado, let's take a look, shall we? Unless you're a Chinese car fanatic, you've probably never heard of Li Auto Inc., and you wouldn't be alone. This company is hardly very big outside of China. It was founded by Li Xiang in 2015, who then started to mass-produce EVs at a rapid rate in 2019. The company's mission is to create a mobile home, create happiness. There is a clear emphasis and focus on creating family vehicles that can handle everything that could come a parent's way, from packing for a family holiday to doing the school run. There's also a big emphasis on value, with the company attempting to offer premium EV solutions at a fraction of the price of the likes of Tesla, Hyundai, and Audi. Currently, the company has 3 models in its lineup: the Li L9, the Li L8, and the Li L7. But things all started with the Li 1. So, let's take a look at what made this vehicle so special. So the Li 1 was Li Xiang's first real attempt at a commercial SUV, and while it didn't quite get the praise that it deserved, it was still a success in many ways. What really set the Li 1 apart from its competition was the fact that it was an extended range electric vehicle. So, alongside 2 electric motors, the vehicle came with a 1.2-litre gasoline engine. This system gave the Li 1 a crazy range of 500 miles standard and an impressive 110 miles on electric-only power. Now, let's not underestimate how impressive this is. You know the Tesla Model X? The one that everyone went crazy about? The one that cost over $100,000? Yeah, that thing can only go for about 330 miles before needing a charge. Charging the battery from 0 to 100% at 200 volts took 6 hours, but this could be cut down to 4 hours with a fast charger. Beyond its revolutionary EV motor, which was literally the first of its kind, the Li 1 was a very nice place to be. The exterior was surprisingly striking, making use of nice styling lines on the front wings. It almost looked Audi-esque and certainly fit right into any Western road. And on the inside is where things get really interesting. Despite its fairly mid-range price of $52,900, the Li 1 Auto came packed full of screens and would fit right into any luxury SUV with ease. First and foremost, you've got the digital instrument screen, which displays all of the information you could need as a driver, from speed to navigation prompts. Next to this is the central digital screen, which displays all the infotainment you could ever need. There's also a 360-degree camera for the driver to check that they won't bump into any obstacles during maneuvers. Finally, there's a third screen right in front of the passenger, which is dedicated entirely to entertainment, to keep them happy during longer journeys. The rest of the cabin was very high quality and perfect for families to enjoy. The boot was fairly large too, making the Li 1 as practical as it was comfortable. However, despite its clear success, the company made the decision to discontinue the Li Auto 1 in October of 2021 to pave the way for a new generation of model. The Li 1 was ultimately a huge success for the company and set up the future successes to come with the next models down the line. So, the Li Auto 1 was discontinued in October 2022 to give room for its newer counterpart, the Li Auto 8. This model has clearly had some pretty big boots to fill, and to be fair, it is delivered in absolutely every way. There are actually 3 different new-gen models to choose from: the L7, the L8, and the L9, each with a different capacity and slightly different sizes. This might sound pretty confusing, but Li is just kinda using Apple's iPhone model where the same base product is sold, just at different price points, with the more expensive models having slightly better specs and tech on the inside. The L9 has been promoted as the flagship, so for the purposes of this video, we'll focus on this model. Just like its predecessor, the Li L9 is not an electric car in every sense of the word. It actually makes use of a petrol engine. It comes equipped with a 44.5 kWh battery and a 1.5-litre 4-cylinder engine, giving the vehicle a total range of 817 miles. Basically, double that of a Model X. The L9 is no slouch either. It'll go from 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds and can tow a decent amount thanks to the 620 Nm of torque that it generates. And inside, the Li L9 is nothing short of a lovely place to be. There are no less than 4 screens as standard, one for the driver, one central screen, and one for the front passenger and one for the rear passenger. So, no one's going to get bored, no matter how long the journey may be. The rest of the cabin is comprised of high-quality leather and plastic, giving the Li L9 a very luxurious feel that could rival the likes of BMW and Audi. The Li 7 starts at around $47,100, but if you want the best tech and features, expect to pay up to $55,000. The base Li L8 model will set you back $49,700, with the top Ranger coming in at $55,200. And the Li L9 starts at around $68,650, but the most expensive model will cost you over $70,000. Now, this might seem pretty expensive, but we should bear in mind that a Tesla, BMW or Audi equivalent will probably cost you upwards of $100,000. So, since the release of the Li Auto 8, the company has grown exponentially. I mean, just last April, the company sold over 25,000 units in a single month. But why has this model become so popular? Well, it all comes down to that mixture of price, quality, and range. I'm sure everyone would love a Tesla, but not everyone can afford the 4-engine figure car repayments and maintenance costs. Well, the Li Auto SUV bridges these gaps. It offers a high-quality Chinese EV alternative at around half the price of a Tesla counterpart. And unlike a lot of other Chinese alternatives, the Li Auto 8 is actually a great car, not just a compromise on price and quality. It's a great middle ground and has many features that the average driver would love to experience. The Li Auto Group is so strong right now that investors are picking Li Auto to be Tesla's biggest rival within the next few years. These investors are backing Li Auto over other Chinese brands like NIO and XPeng for the sole reason that Li Auto's technology is better and can offer more to customers than other brands. To show you what I'm talking about, let's take a look at some of the company's most recent financial reports. In the second quarter of 2022, the Li Auto Group sold 28,687 units. Fast forward to the second quarter of 2023, and the company has blown this figure out of the water, with a total of 86,533 units sold. And this is only the tip of the financial iceberg. As of June 30th, 2023, the company had 331 retail stores across 127 cities, 323 servicing centers, and 223 Li Auto authorized body and paint shops operating worldwide. In Q2 of 2023, the total revenue was $3.95 billion, representing a 228.1% increase from last year. Gross profit is up over 230% to $859.9 million. Many other Chinese SUV companies simply cannot compete with these kinds of figures. With this kind of growth, Li is likely going to become the best-selling SUV brand in China, and there's a good chance it'll find a nice home in the Western market too. Now, don't get me wrong, the Li Auto Group is doing some incredible things right now. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The company is in a very competitive market and is facing some very tough rivals. Of course, the biggest rival to any electric company is Tesla. The American company has the leading market share in the EV space and is easily the most recognizable EV brand. The company is also arguably leading the race in terms of quality and technology. So, if Li wants to keep up with Tesla's SUVs, they're really going to need to lean into their extended range technology and consistently provide vehicles with better range than Tesla. But closer to home, there are still several Chinese e-SUV companies that are posing a threat to the exponential growth of the Li Auto Group. For instance, the GAC Group is currently outselling Li by quite a margin, with a total of 450,000 units sold in 2021 alone. The BYD Group has similarly sold over 740,000 cars in the space of a year. The majority of vehicles sold were SUVs too, so it's clear that Li has a long way to go until it can rival these bigger companies in terms of pure sales. Ultimately, there's an obvious reason why the Li SUV is outselling many other Chinese cars. It's a damn good car. The Li Auto L8 is comfortable, reliable, practical, surprisingly luxurious, and has a seriously impressive range. In fact, the only underwhelming stat is the price. It's a family SUV that can actually be afforded by the average family. The vehicle truly is a box ticker, and as the Li Auto Group gains more traction, we will surely see more and more of these vehicles on the road, both Western and Eastern. We'd love to get your thoughts on Li as a company and the newest SUV in the comments below. So, drop a line with your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive all the future content firsthand. And on that note, we'll see you in the next video.